Alright, this is the third question in my series, Questions for the Trump Supporter, that people who are against Trump can use to try to convert or try to draw out their Trump supporting friends and family, or that Trump supporters can come in and defend him. Say, here's our defense. This is why we give him a pass on this. Well, originally this was further down the list, but I wanted to move it up because I was shocked that some people don't realize that the Republican Party and the history of the Republican Party has always been anti-gay. You don't hear about it a lot anymore. It's speechless. Well, Trump is the most anti-LGBTQ president in a long time. And no one knows this. No one realizes it. Even because of his pick in Mike Pence as his vice president should have been your fucking clue, right? Alright. There's a little paragraph I wrote here to go with this. Some want to be able to not only shun, but not be forced to do business with a gay person, or even give public officials the freedom not to grant a marriage license to a gay couple. Some also want to be able to subject kids to conversion therapy. This some is Mike Pence. This is what makes Mike Pence famous nationwide at the same time that Trump picked him. The same cry out religious freedom want to deny rights to others. Being free to live your life how you choose is the core to the American value system. At a time when some are fighting for their civil rights to have equality under the law, why do you support Trump despite him trying to turn back the clock on civil rights to LGBTQ people? September 19th, 2019. I guess we're going backwards. This is when I started making up this list. Department of Department of Health and Human Services. New rule: hospitals can discriminate against LGBTQ patients and still get Medicare and Medicaid funds. I watch the news. I didn't hear about that. You can Google it. Look it up for yourself. Hospitals now can discriminate. Hospitals! Not cake makers. A fucking hospital can discriminate against LGBTQ patients and still get Medicare and Medicaid funds. August 16th, 2019. Department of Justice filed a brief with South Carolina arguing that federal law does not prohibit discrimination against transgender persons based on their transgender status. So we know what stance the Department of Justice has taken. And I'm sure there's transgender and gay people working in the Department of Justice. I'm not even going to list everything. I couldn't. There's too many. Department of Labor. Federal contracts can impose religious criteria on employees. Wonder if that goes for Muslims. July 8th, 2019. Department of State established a Commission on Inalienable Rights aimed at narrowing our country's human rights advisory to fit with the natural law and natural rights views of social constructs. Yeah. You know what that is. Human rights no longer includes gays and LGBTs, according to the Department of State. July 3rd, 2019. The Department of Housing and Urban Development removed requirements for homeless funding recipients, making them have to demonstrate efforts to help LGBT people. So now you can get HUD funds to help homeless, but you can say, we're not helping the gay and LGBT homeless, and still get government funds. Fucking unbelievable. May 14, 2019, Trump announced opposition to the Equality Act. House Resolution 5 bill would strengthen civil rights protections for LGBTQ Americans. April 12, 2019. Department of Defense put Trump's transgender ban on service members into effect. So you can't serve your country if you decide to be transgender. I'm not finished, but I think this is one of the campaign promises that Trump actually kept. Turning back the clock on LGBTQ rights. And to some, and I suspect this is why the liberal media doesn't talk about it more, because to some, this makes them happy. I want you to think about this. Regardless of your religious views, what should our country's laws and rules be? Right? It's all good when your religion's in power. Your religion's the majority, right?